Hello, I am Resiliencetv. I am glad to participate with you in this conference about inferiority sentiment or complex. And I have to explain my position about this. Three topics. First, complex of inferiority now. Second, the pandemic COVID-19 situation, and third topics, contradiction maybe between the law and the liberty about the law. In the first place, about the inferiority complex, I think it's a good point, a good spot, angle to analyze how global situation, because in the one hand, you have a very smart civilization, very high level of education inside a lot of people, a strong middle class around the world. And in the other hand, you have also the complex of inferiority vis-à-vis, in front of the big power, the big complex power, medical, political, economic power inside the media also, and in the strange way, you have in the one hand a stronger capacity to the people to understand how have a better life, how to develop himself, how to esteem himself. We have the better condition in a lot of several way levels, so on. And in other one, we have not the capacity to say no against this kind of power which want to subordinate us to them because they seems understood better than us the own situation, our own situation. I tried to explain, like if I belong to the people, and in certain hand, yes, and in the other hand, I try to distance this situation to understood then the difficulties as we have now to reduce the gap between this both possibilities. You have in one side, as I said, the smartest civilization since centuries, and you have in other side this kind of complex because the power of this global system has maybe manufactured a lot of institutions, mediations, and of course the networks, the media networks, and so on. And maybe it's why we are the people in short, as afraid to say no, we are disagree with you because it's not sure, for instance, and I go to the I am going to the second topic. It's not sure that the COVID-19 is very different than a big flu, as we have each year. But each year in the world, you have not all the media, all the elite who say to us, look, every year you have 200,000 until sometimes 500,000 dead each year because the influenza. And you have not every day, every morning, every hour, all the people, the elite, with a lot of discourse, try to explain to you every day, last year, for instance, that the flu kills a lot of people. You have not this kind of situation. It's why it's not true to say it's very different now, it's rare, the COVID is very... No, it's... I can give you one example. For instance, in the severe flu, in straight flu, if you want, you have a lot of child who died, a lot of, with pulmonary infection and so on. But now, with this kind of virus, you have not this kind of death. You have not a lot of child death. You have a lot of old people, of course, if you have not the capacity to isolate them, to test them, to treat them with a good treatment, as in some countries it will be, it has been possible. And for instance, in a few decades ago, you had a lot of dead, and it's why more dead than now. For instance, Hong Kong flu in '69, you had 1 billion, 1 million, sorry, until 2 million dead. And 2 years ago, in 2080s, you had, as the SMO said, you had 800,000 deaths. It's why maybe this kind of situation is indeed a project than a test. A project to to see if you are able to be inferior at how high capacity. And if I have to go ahead to the third topics now, if it's possible, it is possible to obey, to have some obedience about any rules which say, look, I am not just a rule, I am the law. And I am the scientist law. Like science replace God. God didn't exist anymore, and you have the science, and the science decide to say you have to obey because I knew better than yourself what is good for you. Or, as I said in the first topics, we knew ourselves better than our parents or our ancestors. We are able to analyze the numbers, to compare the situations year after year. You saw the global situation, you saw the strategy, and we saw also which it is very strange to impose at ourselves now this kind of situation, like, if you want, some forces want to transfer ourselves in the other dimension, in this kind of maybe a new dimension, ecological dimension, but it's not true because it's not a real ecology, if you want. It's maybe a cybernetic society inside. We are just an component, an element, and we are just a terminal, and in connection with other terminal, and we lost our capacity to say no, it's not possible. We cannot follow your rules because it's not the true law. And what is the true law? That is the question. The true law maybe is to understand that we are in the democratic era, civilization, and we cannot, like that, to reduce our freedom because you think it's necessary to how good to have this kind of behavior and not this kind of behavior, or it's not possible to speak like that because it's more difficult now to 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 manipulate the people because we are not in the inferior situation because we are better informed than a lot of decades or centuries ago. But, and it's my last sentence, but it seems that the people are hypnotized by the, the formal language of the political, economical system infiltrated by the screen, the beauty, the seduction of the screen, as we have any defaults, we are sure, certain, I am the rule and I am the law. It's not true. We have to wake up, and it's not just a point of view. It's what is the term exactly? It's a necessity if you want to keep a very objective spirit to build a very better society. It's necessary to defend the the people and to say no, you are objectively in the inferiority and is not fair.